Do you play a lot of darts on your wall behind you? Or?
No, I just get angry.
Right on.
No.
That looks like every college dorm ever, and that's toothpaste. I gotta get the closet back.
This is what sucks is so this is the one wall not in my apartment that looks like complete shit. So like when I moved in, it was just like this. And I'm too lazy to fix it and paint it over, and I just don't care.
Yeah.
And it's never an issue. It was never an issue until COVID, when now we're just on Zoom, and like this is the only spot in my apartment that makes sense for my computer to be and everything. And I'm up in New York, where it's not easy for me to move shit around.
Yeah.
Don't mean to brag. I'm a New York comedian.
He just made it.
It also helps with the lore that you're a squatter.
Yeah. So like you can pretend it's clouds or just my.
It's clouds. Maybe just.
I'm thinking there's probably some teeth in those walls.
Yeah. I mean, I live in like a place that I'm in Sunnyside, and it's like a place where I would not be able to afford the rent where I am, except I live in one of those houses where the landlord just hasn't updated anything in 30 years. And He's like, yeah, I'm too lazy to do that. So I'm knocking $300 off the rent. And I'm like, great, perfect.
James, do you have roommates?
Yeah. But it's almost dorm style living, where I've got 2 roommates and we only share a kitchen and a bathroom, and there's no other common area.
How is that now? Like, is that bothersome, or it's like, yeah, whatever?
No, it's not bad at all. Because like, they keep it to themselves, and like it's all pretty cool. And one of them's like sort of like it's a 3rd floor attic area, and like so one of them lives up there. The other guy's very cool. So in order to live here, like everybody just keeps to themselves and is very chill.
That's how you live in New York. Just keep to yourself and
yeah.
eyes down.
Yeah, just shut up. Just everybody shut up.
Exactly.
Where is it in New York, James?
I'm in Sunnyside.
Where's that?
Sunnyside.
It's in Queens. It's like right next to Astoria and
right next to Astoria.
Long Island City.
Long Island City's like here. You're
shut up, Ian.
Yeah, so I'm in AOC's district. So
right.
Oh, that's cool.
That's my claim to fame.
I think Big Pun lives there too.
Yeah, does he? I don't know.
No idea.
What train is that? What train do you take to get to your house?
Well, back when we could take trains without worrying about death, it was the 7.
That's lovely. Yeah. I lived at Ditmars Boulevard, last stop on the N train.
Dropping that terms, man.
Sometimes I'll just walk to Queensboro Boulevard, Queensboro Plaza, and I'll take that.
I love that.
When Kristin lived there, they still had to throw their slop out the windows.
That's correct. It was in the 1600s.
Oh wow,
she's a time traveler.
You look great.
we also were the ones that moved the train. We were alongside of it, just pushing it.
It's like a Flintstones car thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Well, she was an Irish immigrant, so they just pushed trains back in the day.
Right off the Ellis Island.
I don't think we can use any of this, Kev.
Why not? I've given up. I've totally given up.
Yeah, I didn't know that she was an Irish immigrant, so I don't really want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I hide my accent well. You can't hear it, but usually I let it out when I give you and me.
Eoin O'Shea will not do a show unless he is the most Irish person on it. That's how I know there's no way in hell you're an Irish immigrant, Kristin.
Sláinte.
Hey, this is Steve with the Punch Up Podcast. With me on this episode are Kristin Finger.
Hi, Steve.
Eoin O'Shea.
Hey, Steve.
Kevin Regan.
Hey, Steve.
And our storyteller is James Hesky. James, thanks for being here.
Oh, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's all yours, buddy.
Oh, okay. Wow. We just jump right into it.
Jump right into a story.
Okay. I have something that's a little bit different. I brought a visual aid. I hope that's okay.
Sure.
But my book it's not for sale. I wrote it when I was a little kid, and we did it for school. It's called The Time Machine.
And there's a clock on the cover there. I like it.
Yeah, there's a clock on the cover there, and it's if you can see it down at the bottom, it says written and illustrated by James Hesky.
Oh yeah.
And this was done, I think, in 4th or 5th grade.
Was something redacted? It looks like it said the something time machine.
I think you just misspelled the.
That's probably just smudges over the years.
Over the years, I get it.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, like I probably screwed it up while making it because I was a 4th grader and an idiot. And, so I probably did. And they were like, we're not getting you another blank book.
Yeah, I was going to say that's like that. It's nicely bound.
Yeah, so like we had to write out the story, do all the storyboarding, and then we got a blank book that we would put it in. So it was a cool project that we got to do one time.
Yeah.
So it's most of the story is totally forgettable, and there's nothing big that I want to show you.
Cool. Thanks for coming out, James.
Thanks so much. Great.
Right. I mean, there's some. It's a story about Timmy and his dog Chuck. So that dog, is a little bit.
It's 2 legs.
Simeon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Simeon. That's
yeah, and that's supposed to be current times. But they hate to take baths, which does not come into play at all. But they come across a time machine, which, as you can see, is there.
So they found this time machine too. They didn't build it. It was just derelict in the woods.
Well, when you're a kid and you have your 2-legged dog and you find a time machine.
Yeah.
Bathed. A clean 2-legged dog.
A clean 2-legged dog.
I don't want to spoil anything here, but if I was Timmy and I found that time machine with my 2-legged dog, I'd go back to the time when my dog had 4 legs.
Oh.
Yeah, unless he was born that way.
what a waste of time.
Born that way.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Kev wanted to go back to a time when it's clear who the human is.
Yeah. And this is before like the dodo, when you could have, really, nice stories about 2-legged dogs. So it takes 4 pages for him to get in. And he finally does get in.
Wait a minute. Whoa. He's hesitant. It takes him 4 pages to make the decision with his dog.
Can I suggest an alternative motive?
Sure.
James is more interested in drawing than writing.
Well, I mean, you've seen the pictures I drew. I wasn't that good, and I haven't gotten any better.
No, I'd say they're worth more than 1,000 words.
I honestly, if I drew this right now, it would look exactly the same. It's like, did somebody break your left hand and make you draw it with that broken left hand? Yeah, as you were having a stroke while you were crying. So they get there, and they there's the whole, they get in, the machine starts beeping, and they get out, and guys, you'll never guess this, but they end up with a dinosaur. Hang on. I'm trying to, I have to, so
Awesome.
sorry, I'm trying to like show it to my camera.
I can see. Is that the sun setting in the background or a taco?
It is.
Okay.
There we go.
Could
Yeah,
be both.
Point to the dinosaur.
They're at the feet of it.
Yeah, I see his leg. Yeah. I
I thought those were like totem poles with arms.
I thought that was a palm tree.
Oh,
No.
other side.
Guys, we're not here to grade the story. We're just listening.
Sorry, you're right.
No, I think you guys can grade here.
Is Chuck still there?
Yeah, Chuck is still here. He's down
just
there.
smaller. He's just a great deal smaller.
Well, I can compare.
They're both really tiny. They're both so they're both down here and they're really small.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, and then over
perspective.
here, it's just his tail.
Got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I was experimenting with perspective.
You sure
Got it.
were. You sure
I
were.
apologize. I was seeing it as a spread, and you were seeing it page. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kristin is annoying.
Yeah. So so the only other thing to add in here is that it didn't smell good. It's just the smell would make you run, but they had to see it too. I don't even know what that means.
The smell of the world of the dinosaur.
Yeah.
The
I
stench of
guess.
success. I think the stench of time travel would probably be a bit stinky too.
Yeah, you go back, dinosaurs smell, the world smells.
Your innards are melting.
He and the dog had been bathed a lot, so they were used.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I don't know if this was an artistic choice, but there's one page here that's just not in color. It's just black and white, just pencil.
I think recess was coming up.
Yeah. Then they just walk around. There's a whole sort of scene where they're just walking around in the desert trying to find the time machine.
They misplaced it again?
Again, I did not make them smart.
I see now. I feel like, James, that space that was smudged out, you could put the aloof time machine. I feel like that time machine is not easily
It's on
accessible.
legs.
Yeah.
But they do get in, and this is the area that I really wanted to get into here, and why I wanted to bring the book.
This is also why James was kicked out of the 4th grade immediately. So, all right.
Possibly.
I was going to say, is this your pitch to repeat 4th grade?
But yeah, yeah, probably not, and you'll see why. So they get back in the time machine, and they end up in the year 3469. I know.
All right.
That is
Most excellent.
scary, right? So immediately,
Wait, how old are you in 4th grade?
Year 10, or 9, sorry.
So that 69 there is just complete coincidence.
Yeah, that is a coincidence. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Disgusting, Kevin.
No,
Yeah,
I'm for a 4th grader, but a 6th grader at 69. That's where you
Oh,
want.
absolutely.
Let's just get this out of the way, James. Had you already had sex in 4th grade?
Well, at least 69 is the question.
I had not had sex,
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. I didn't mean to delve. I just wanted to be clear.
and still haven't to be.
Oh,
Great.
To each-
69 is
to each
a sexual position where things are inverted. I think there's an inversion, and there's a.
That's Top Gun. You're thinking of Top Gun, Ian.
My bad.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Don't understand how it works. Honestly, I just not into it. And I'd appreciate if you kept this clean. So immediately there's just this tall figure starts walking towards them.
Okay.
And they're just spooked. And that's
Sure.
sort of what it is. It's just this tall figure walking towards them, and Chuck and Timmy and Chuck just get really scared.
In 3469, we're still walking. We haven't improved on that.
Still walking.
Well, we've gotten very tall. We've grown very tall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's building the tension of what this guy gonna do. Probably gonna murder. He's from the future. He's gonna murder us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
they love murder.
And here comes the big twist, which is all he does is he comes over and he says, "Hi, would you like to come over to my house and play computer games?"
Oh,
Aw.
that's
that's
I
nice
love
of
it.
him.
nice.
Yeah.
Is Timmy also in 4th grade, or?
Yeah, probably. He's definitely a boy who has to take baths. So he's pretty young.
Right. So this is I'm assuming an adult in 3469.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where it gets. That's a sticky wicket.
Is this when your counseling began?
Probably. This is and I have 2 psychologists for parents, so this has to, like, I must have blocked something out at this point.
So does this tall man like offer anything to Timmy, like Zima or anything of the sort? Come to know is the tall man's.
Just a tall mug of ether.
No, I mean, it doesn't take anything. I mean, on the very next page, Timmy just says, "Yes, please."
Please.
Well, what are his options?
To go with Chuck and travel through time, Steve.
Yeah, they could be time traveling again. The dinosaur seems better than this predator.
Timmy's clearly up for an adventure. So, I mean,
Did Chuck have any say in this? Did Chuck, I mean,
No, there was no.
He might have had 2 legs, but he doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Right.
What
you'll come with me if you want to keep your 2 legs, you dumb mutt.
I'm curious what is going through the mind of 10-year-old James when he writes in 3469, let's play video game, like what he feels those video games will be. Like, does he know that there will be a huge car game that will have come out where you can actually get a prostitute, pay her, and then beat her up and take the money back? Like, where is his brain on these games?
I'm trying to think. So if you're 9 or 10 in fourth grade,
Yeah.
so that's 96.
You playing Pitfall? Or Madden? I guess
96. Yeah, but 96. So that's
Sonic?
probably Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or what was the football one with Bo Jackson? The
Tech Mobile.
Tecmo.
No,
Tecmo
dude,
Bowl?
Tecmo Bowl was
No,
way before.
yeah,
that. It was
yeah,
way
so
before that.
Yeah,
You
so
don't-
this
you
is
don't
like
have to get angry, Kevin. I'm just.
It's
Jesus.
fucking way before that, Ian.
we're talking about future pedophiles here.
Yeah. Oh, so Moonwalker. There was
Okay.
like the Moonwalker game. So
Yeah, perfect.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, but this also could have been like, I guess I would have gone to some arcades.
oh yeah.
So there could have been things like Virtua Fighter and things like that were starting to look kind of cool.
yeah.
Dragon's Lair out yet?
That
I
was
have no
that was
idea.
out. Like it had been out at that point because it was like late 80s.
And my brother was always super into video games. And so it was always like a thing that like he was always on the cutting edge. So whatever. So maybe it's like a thing that I always wanted to do with him, but it was and wanted like the top of the line stuff. But
James, is your brother incredibly tall?
he's he's 6'1".
I mean, that's tall-ish.
Yeah,
No,
but,
is this what you wanted to bring? I mean, did this strike a chord with people in school and teachers and family and stuff?
well, that's what. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't get called into the principal's office for this.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking back now. I mean,
Yeah.
the teacher was just happy that you handed it in, right? I mean,
Right.
She was
And-
pissed that one page wasn't colored, but she's like, "Look, the best I'm gonna get out of the kid."
Was the last page just "Help me, teacher"?
Yeah.
Please don't send me home.
That's the back cover.
And that's why I don't want to go to summer camp.
Just a picture of James. Like,
Dad, did your parents what did your parents say? Were you like, look
Nothing.
what I made?
Probably. That's the thing is, I don't remember anybody ever saying anything. The
Yeah.
only reason that I know about this is because maybe like 2 years ago, I found this in like when I went home, just as like a thing that had been kept, and I went through it, and nobody had ever remembered. So I feel like it's one of those things, almost like that movie, The Number 23, where like maybe everybody was trying to keep it from me.
Right.
Yes.
well, I mean, the thing that comes to mind is just that sweet little James was just dying for attention and couldn't
Oh,
even get it with like, suggesting pedophilia.
Yeah.
So I mean, is that something that plays out with your parents both, analyzing everybody else? Like my stepmother is a world-renowned acupuncturist, and it is like by all measures a healer. Like,
Right.
she treated Steve Jobs at the end of his life, and people travel around the world to come see her, and but
She didn't cure him.
But no, she did not.
No.
She failed.
Yeah, she failed. Yeah.
One too many needles.
Yeah.
You might want to pick a different example.
She took
Yeah.
She immediately took that one off the resume.
Yeah.
Elite.
Yeah. She used to be in the lobby, but we often say that like we didn't get that side of her. Like we didn't get the healer. Like we got the just spent
Yeah.
doctor. Spend
Yeah.
all day helping folks. And I now have kids, and I recognize at the end of the day, you get to a point and you're just like, I got nothing left. But so with two psychologists, I'm wondering, if they just, the cobbler's kids have no shoes, right?
I mean, certainly the kids of psychologists end up weird, but I think some of that's just genetic also, because you have the genes of two people who chose to be psychologists. So
Right.
there's also that's just thrown in.
Weird table talk, I imagine.
Definitely. But my brother works, I mean, he's still video game, like he works for Microsoft. So like he's still in
Oh, wow.
like video games and in like working in that field.
Is your brother older than you or younger than you?
Yeah, he's older.
You know what? That to me, how much older?
3 years.
At that age, I would almost say that that's your brother. Like,
That's definitely, yeah. If I could, let me just get into this
Yeah.
real deep.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, that's the attention I want. Not,
Yeah.
Okay,
not
so,
parent.
so we've taken a turn here. Did your brother touch you, James?
He did not. It ends up being a very positive relationship here. That's the thing, is it sounds creepy, but it ends up being super great.
Did you get to the end, James? Do they go play games or
They do. That's all they do. They go and they play games.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like,
Nice.
That
yeah,
happened.
this is like it's like one of those, it's like the weirdest episode of To Catch a Predator, where somebody comes over like, no, seriously, like
No, we just.
I literally just came over,
Right.
like I actually just was bringing them a pizza. Like
Yeah,
I
he's
just
a really nice guy. I'm sure there have been kids that are lost at the park that have been brought home by a guy in a van who just
Who literally lost his dog. That guy is like, look, kid, I lost my dog. Hop
And he
in
needs
the-
help.
He's
He
only
needs
he's
help.
only got 2 legs.
and thank you. I actually have some ice cream for you.
yeah. And we had ice cream and we talked and he brought me home. Like he's coming to my bar mitzvah.
And he's a very tall man, so pants don't fit him, which explains why he was naked.
Yes.
Wait a
And you
second.
know what?
Wait a second.
I might just stay. I might just stay.
Might just stay. He has everything. He has a bare mattress on the floor. He has Polaroid camera. He has everything.
He's not on my ass all the time about
Yeah.
work, chores.
He let me
schoolwork.
watch Uncle Buck.
Great movie.
I know it's fucking bizarre too because of the quarantine. But is there anything you want to plug, James? Is there?
No, I mean, I'm working on stuff like everybody else is that I hope will eventually see the light of day. There's things that are on my computer that I'm like, well, let's see if this gets good enough to post. So the only way to, it's like there's a lot of stuff in different levels of production that some have more promise than others. Honestly, the best thing is just check out my Twitter, just at James Hesky. So that's probably the best. That'll have the most stuff. And then we might post some stuff on the Layoff Kids as well. That's
Such good
it's
stuff.
at Layoff Kids, which it sounds like a good command and a but it's also a sketch group.
Yeah, it's really, really, really good stuff, man. You guys,
Download and listen to The Topical on The Onion. So I submit for them now. I write headlines for The Onion
Nice.
for
Oh, that's
sports,
awesome.
sports and podcast. So The Topical and the sports page, if you see headlines on there.
Kristen Finger, do you want to plug anything?
Oh man, you know it.
That's
Yeah, hi. You can find me, Kristin Finger, on the internet.
that's
Kristin-
great, awesome. Thanks for tuning. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really excited. We're doing Murder Manor virtually in October. And this guy, he's to my left, but Kevin Regan is our stage manager. Whoop, whoop. But it's a improvised murder mystery that the people in the chat are going to decide who our characters are and who the murderer is and how it happened, and we just make it happen.
And
That's
are
Nice.
you also doing free? Are you doing freelance design?
Graphic design.
I am, but I don't have time for anyone else right now.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good thing to have, man.
How busy I am. Also, I think it's mostly because Joe Sabatino takes forever to make a decision on his logo. So
I'm not editing that out.
No,
That's
edit
good.
Joe's name. He's not paying us. Edit him out.
No, I want it known. He takes forever to make a decision. Don't we all know it?
Can I do the voiceover, the ADR for that? And just
Yeah.
Fro Mapatino.
Perfect. Ian, other than your voiceover work, are you plugging anything?
I'm just really lonely.